Welcome back to Tyler's Garage. Here's a little update on our friend, the Rayco RG1635A SA stump grinder. So I've been continuing to do some work on it. One of the things I did is I went ahead and I changed the hydraulic oil in this. So it took about 1.7 gallons of this AW32. I used this Fram. It was a little bit more expensive, but the specifications in the manual stated that the AW32 was the correct fluid for this application. I also purchased a new Baldwin filter there. In fact, I got a second one. This is a pretty generic filter that can be used on a lot of different applications for stump grinders and for any hydraulics. So now we got two new filters on there, new fluids in there. Additionally, I started going through and was still experiencing that white smoke. And so as I looked at that, the next thing I did is start looking and got a compression tester, or I borrowed it from AutoZone. And I put this on both cylinders, or banks of cylinders, all the cylinders. And what I found is on the front two cylinders, those were hitting at about 120 psi. While here on the back, they were a little less than 90 psi on these two cylinders. So I started researching and reading in the manual, and what I found was that they didn't specify a PSI for these. However, they did say anything that was over a 10 psi difference on there was a problem. Okay, so that got me thinking, as we look at this engine may need the cylinders taken out and the piston rings replaced. It is one of those things also where it's sort of like a Pandora's box, because once this is opened up, may find that the cylinders themselves have issues, and you can purchase larger rings. These are a little unique because they do use a 3-ring setup comparatively. The other thing I noticed is when I did replace the spark plugs with Autolite 382, very common, easy to find spark plug. Spark plugs were, let's see if we can get in focus here, maybe we'll leave it down here. As you can see there, best way to say, were nasty. All right. Now I recognize too that because it's an air-cooled engine, they won't necessarily be the most beautiful looking, but as I looked at them, there was a lot of debris. Let's see if we can get it here in there, and I'm not sure if that played a part in the poor running. So these were only about $3.50 a piece. So I went ahead and got 4 new spark plugs. I installed those. I tried to put a borescope inside the cylinder. However, it was so small in terms of the area that I could see. I'm going to run the engine some today and see if we can't make it better and see inside those cylinders what it is looking like before we pull the heads on that. The other thing I did here is I was looking at the old lines for the battery going to the starter, and as you may hopefully see here, there were a lot of holes or worn spots in these lines. So I went ahead and replaced them. They're 6 feet lines, and I was able to find ones that were complete. I also went here and purchased terminal boots, because this will be outside a lot of times. You know, want to have those terminals protected as best as possible. I was also able to reinstall the battery this way it was supposed to be installed. And then over here, a lot of that wearing occurred when this arm moves. So I got some electrical line there, or electrical protectant, and put that over the power line, which goes here to the starter, and then the negative that goes on the block. So just sort of did some updates with that. I also discovered that the air filter bottom piece is missing. So it works, but may be an issue. I started also looking, just out of curiosity, at replacement 35 and 45 horsepower engines. You're looking at a replacement cost between $2,000 and $4,000, which obviously then starts to not necessarily make the economics make the most of sense on this. Another thing I did is I did replace the teeth. All right, so these are the old teeth here, and then we got a few new teeth, and we got all new teeth put in here on these pockets. One thing I mixed up on at first, those are a 1/2 inch hex. Impact is the easiest way to get those installed on there. So we got all new. The only issue I did encounter on one set, it's just gone. So I'm gonna have to replace this pocket, and that will. So I'm hoping to the location there that I'm planning to run it today, that does not cause any issue with the balancing of that. One thing I realized, I originally ordered, I went on a website and it said the RG1635, and so it said the Green Teeth 900 series. So I went ahead and ordered those. Those were much too large for this application. I think the correct would be the Green Teeth 700 series for this. Apparently Rayco made another design, but this is only about a 1/2 inch, the wheel there, while the one that was the 900 was a 3/4 of an inch width bar. So at some point I may go back and install those. However, for right now I just went with the simple replacement pieces. You have to have 14 left and 14 right, and then you have 4 of the straight on this one. I went ahead and just ordered some more. They're about $6 a piece, and you can get a slight discount if you buy more. So there's where we are on it. So also I went through and I had a lot of trouble with the jack stand, so I just went ahead and ordered a new one for it, and so that should make it easier to raise and lower it. Trying to think of what else we got going on here. I'm eager to see how it operates today. I did notice there was a slight leak out of the exhaust on this side, and the bolts that hold on the exhaust were actually pretty loose. So I'm hoping that that solves that problem. I'm still concerned about the white smoke, which I'll put some video footage in here to show you. I'm hoping that maybe it might require an engine, if we can pull the heads and go ahead and just replace the rings. I'm not sure if I need to do it on both sides. So again, I had about 120 PSI on the front and about almost 90 on the back. If you have any ideas about that, please leave a comment, let me know. Hydraulics seem like they're working all right, so that's a good thing. I'm gonna go, this does drink about 3 gallons of fuel per hour. So I encountered where it ran out of fuel on me. So I'm gonna go take this today and make sure to fill it up. Additionally, what I did on my truck, talking about the hydraulic fluid, it does not, it shows that there should be under here a drain for the hydraulic fluid. I was not able to find one. The only thing it shows is this sight glass right here, and that is the fill level. So that said, I filled it to there. I left this open, let it drain out, and then went ahead and put it back in. It says you should be able to look in there. I can't see anything, so I'm just going to take for granted that hopefully it's got enough hydraulic fluid, and if it didn't, that it would cause us, we would know. So that said, additionally over here, I wanted to show you on my truck, we have, I installed a new hitch, And this makes it, with my long bed pickup truck and the short wheelbase of the trailer, it makes it really challenging for me to get stuff, basically to back it up, etc. So I installed this, so when I get on the job site or wherever I'm grinding, this makes it a lot easier for me to go ahead and install the to move around and manipulate the hitch.